There is a hidden crisis in the UK right now that is failing our youth, and it's completely not NEET. Well, it is NEET, it's spelled N-E-E-T. NEET, and that stands for Not in Education, Employment or Training. NEET basically refers to the amount of 16 to 24-year-olds that are not in education, training or employment. As of October to December in 2024, there has been just under 1 million cases of this. More specifically, 987,000 young people are not being served, not in education, not in employment, and not in any form of training. Have a look at the rates just here. As you can see, in 2015, it was 850,000, which is pretty high. Then it kept dropping down to 2019 and went as low as 770,000, which is pretty cool. Basically, from 12.3% all the way down to 11%. However, over the past 5 years or so, roughly, it's risen to 13.4%. And as I've just mentioned, it's 987,000. Who knows what it's going to go to? Why do I think this is? Well, I think that the education system is damaging our kids. It's not preparing them for the future. And it massively sucks, whether it's the teacher's fault or whether it's the education's fault. I'm going to say it's the education system's fault, not teachers' fault. Although there are a few teachers out there that are absolutely ridiculous and shouldn't be teachers. I did a massive piece on TikTok about how teachers are becoming bullies as opposed to the young people being bullies. Why is it, by the way, that children are bullying other children, but at the same time, teachers are bullying other teachers? Anyway, back to the video. Here are the 4 things why I think the education system is failing our youth and increasing the amount of NEET young people in the UK right now. Number 1, lack of practical skills. The academic education system severely promotes vocational learning. It's all just sitting down, writing, remembering, reading, that sort of thing, as opposed to practicalities. I actually met a guy in the gym. He's just there, actually. He's a good lad. The education system failed him. He's in his mid-40s right now, but he actually managed to get up on his own 2 feet and become a stuntman and do some really cool roles like this, hanging out with some amazing actors in the world. The education system didn't make this an option for him. He had to discover it for himself. Reason number 2 is inadequate career guidance. I don't think that the education system solely focuses on what the young person is passionate about. They just focus on the areas in the world, in the community, in the stereotypical jobs, such as being a teacher, working in services, just staying solely in the primary sector, basically getting a job where they just become forgotten about and integrated into the society of which they were born into, and just being a worker bee and going along, going with the flow, and being forgotten about. Number 3 is the mental health support or lack thereof. Okay, I'm going to give the education system its semi-due, some semi-credit, because they are working on that right now. What they're doing wrong, though, is actually educating teachers to be more upskilled in identifying anxiety. And that's just one strand of mental health, or mental health illness. They're doing it wrong because they're not employing outside agencies to come in and help out young people. They're completely using teachers, of which teachers are completely being overworked right now already. If you are a teacher watching this, you know exactly what I mean. In my personal opinion, they need to get outside agencies. They need to create a hub. They need to have talk therapy sessions. They need to have practical sessions, because when a child's running around, they get a dopamine release, which makes them happy. Therefore, they're going to get to open up more. This is what I found with my personal clients anyway. And number 4, economic barriers. Sometimes children are from deprived areas, and therefore they don't have the opportunity or chance to go to the higher level of education. And if you haven't seen already, the expense of higher education is absolutely embarrassing. What is it, £9,500 for just 1 year being at university? Now, I'm not really complaining or harping on about that, because I think university is a complete waste of time unless you're going to use your degree. And I completely forgot to mention, hi, by the way, my name is Dale, International Confidence Coach for Kids, ex-teacher of 12 years, used to teach science and PE head of department. I was bullied by a deputy head, which meant I had to leave the classroom and grow in this area, which is life coaching kids, and it's so much fun. It's so cool. If you're a teacher, by the way, listen to this and you're interested in that, just drop me a comment below saying coach, and I'm going to send you a load of free information. Anyway, what do I think the education system needs to do to help lower the amount of NEET children in the UK? Well, number 1, they need to increase practical training, practical skills like coaching or something like that. Number 2, comprehensive career services. They can actually get outside speakers to come in that are kind of new and unique, children haven't really seen before, to kind of open up their horizons. Number 3, I think there needs to be an emphasis on social media. Why? Because so many children are using it, and I genuinely think that could be damaging a young person's mental health, because they compare themselves to other people on social media. They don't know how to switch off because it's so good at keeping an individual locked in. Look at you right now. on social media technically, and they just scroll and scroll and scroll, and they just get lost in that paralysis. Also, there's a lot of cyberbullying that happens on social media as well. And to coincide with that, number 4, there needs to be a higher emphasis on mental health services for young people, whether they get life coaches, mentors, guidance counselors. Like I said before, there needs to be a giant hub where children can come in and just listen and speak, comprehend and understand each other. 5, I think there needs to be an emphasis on social skills as well, because obviously I'm still reliving COVID. Unfortunately, COVID's had a massive detrimental effect on young people, and it's going to last years, in my humble opinion. So I think that children need to stop communicating through a screen and communicate in real life. And number 6, I think they need to revitalise apprenticeships. My friend runs an apprenticeship company and it's doing absolutely amazing. And why is this good? Because some children don't have the concentration, the skill set, the internal caliber, and that's no offence to them, to sit down and just make reams of notes, listen to a lecturer drone on about something or other and reference where their work comes from. To be fair, I think that's pretty obsolete and dead now. They need one-to-one, on-hand, in-work training. And I think that's fantastic for young people these days, because they actually get to learn on the job and they can get paid for that as well. And what's good about that is hopefully they can learn how to manage their finances, of which school don't prepare you for either. So I think the education system is failing our young people. Why and where is my proof? The increase amount of NEET children in the world. Like I said, it's increased to 13.4%, which is absolutely embarrassing. Whose fault do I think this is as well? Well, more specifically, obviously the education system. But is anyone here aware of Amanda Spielman? Yeah, the Ofsted chief inspector lady who unfortunately was responsible for the death of Ruth Perry. And by the way, she's going to get a peerage. Don't know what for, don't know what she's done, but I think her, in combination with Michael Gove, they have absolutely battered the education system and sent it in absolute turmoil. And I think that's another reason, personally, why those two, I'm not putting all the emphasis on them, but they haven't helped matters. They've actually increased the amount of NEET young people in the UK, which is not fair, really, because it all just seems to be really highly focused on academia as opposed to other feats which children are amazing at. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts, because your opinion matters to me, especially if you are a teacher. It was a bit controversial, my last sentence about Amanda and Michael. How do you feel about that? Am I being too harsh? Am I putting all the emphasis on them? Should it be the education system in its entirety? Or if they haven't helped, let me know. I'd love to know what you think. Comment below and give me some ideas for another YouTube video, by the way. That'd be really cool. And if you are a teacher watching this and you are interested in life coaching kids, honestly, just reach out and I can give you everything I possibly can to make that little dream into a goal with a deadline. Have a cool day. Peace out.